But we don't like that. We don't like it at all. May I inspect you? May I ask who you are? 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 Okay.
Guess it's time for me to address the smear campaign launched against me this week, perpetuated by none other than Richard Spencer, a white nationalist leader.
Okay, well, I don't know what else you came here for. Did you just coincidentally find me? Were you expecting something else?
Guess I was supposed to walk away and think conservatives are racist, and conservatives were supposed to walk away and think Candace is a fraud.
I was waiting on you at the door.
They call me a monster.
Okay, well then you ought to take it as a compliment.
How stupid do you guys think my fans are?
Very stupid.
You called Tree of Logic a crackhead. You called.
I genuinely think she's on drugs.
Okay, that's fine.
She said I was releasing a doxing site in 3 weeks and she was scared for her life. That's definitely not living within the normal reality.
With the help of my friend Jimmy, together we were able to gain access to the root files of socialautopsy.com, which were unsecure and unencrypted. We discovered that socialautopsy.com database had 94,682 doxes stored within the website, which means that she only needed to collect 5,318 more doxes before the website went into auto launch. And to my shock and horror, I saw my docs, my personal information, listed on her website, along with some screenshots of mean things I've said on Twitter and YouTube. This website was connecting my real name to my online persona, and this was beyond scary. I'm a former police officer who have arrested some very dangerous men who were convicted of numerous felonies from rape to murder. Until I move out of the state of Georgia, I'm always contacted when these men make parole and are released from prison. Why? Because when some of these men who have been locked up for 10 or 15 years finally get released from prison, one of the things on their must-do list is to kill the cop who locked them up in the first place. She had my private information listed on this website along with thousands of others, including children, and she was going to release all of this in a matter of weeks. So I had a personal interest in shutting this website down. This was personal. It wasn't about any jealousy. There's nothing for me to be jealous about. This was personal. That website never launched because we stopped you. If I and the others never made videos about what you was about to do, you would have ruined thousands of lives, including mine.
That is a bit foul of a rumor to spread.
It's not a rumor. It's not a rumor. It's not a rumor.
How
she just said I was using a doxing site in 3 weeks.
Hold on, guys.
How are you? Who are you defending? This is what I don't understand. Okay, she's right now defending an alt-right sympathizer that straight up said that I was releasing a doxing site in 3 weeks. That is the ground zero of this entire predicament. That she started fear.
Not Richard Spencer. Not Richard Spencer, like you said.
I did not say Richard. I said he perpetuated. Do you know the definition of perpetuate?
You said.
Do you know the definition of perpetuate? Yes or no? I said he perpetuated it.
You said that Richard Spencer made a video on you.
I said he
didn't.
I said
you said he made one. You said he made one. When he did,
I said he perpetuated a smear campaign about me.
All right, guys.
That's exactly what I said. I never said he started the rumors whatsoever.
He made a video on you, and he didn't. There's no evidence of that.
To be honest,
he does not have a video.
To be honest, I know this is going to super hurt your egos, but I didn't watch a single one of your videos except for the Google Hangout for the first hour that you were on.
Candace.
The icing on the cake came today when Richard Spencer, a very well-known white nationalist, tweeted out his support of the smear campaign against me. He actually made an entire video about me. He actually made an entire video about me. He actually made an entire video about me. This was pretty obvious that they were trying to, at that moment, turn me against conservatives and make me make a video basically saying that I tried to be a conservative and everybody was a white nationalist, but I didn't fall for it.
She's just 16 years old.
Hey everybody, Roger here. I want to talk to you guys today about
a vindication, not really a vindication video. It's just a video that highlights more information in regards to everybody's beloved black Republican ambassador, Candace Owens, A.K.A. Red Pill Black. So, Tree of Logic just released her, I would say, I think she called it a third video. I know she's made more, but her most recent video regarding Candace Owens, and it goes deep into a lot of things. You know, the biggest one, not the biggest, but one of the bigger items for me was her vindication, her justification of taking everything so seriously in regards to the Candace O topic, and she did that flawlessly. She basically pointed out that, yeah, you know, Candace Owens had kept admitting that this whole site was a splash page, and proving her wrong throughout the process, proving Candace wrong about the process, that it basically was Candace was lying. And then she proceeded to show us that she was also one that was doxxed on this website as well. And that when her and another friend did an investigation onto the website, they found out a couple of things. The first one, me being a developer, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are aware of this as well, but me being a developer, you know, to have a website that is unsecure and house information like that, that's pretty big. You know, you're slipping on a slippery slope there with personal information like that. So anyways, I think she found out that there was about 94 some odd thousand profiles that were gathered, and then there was supposed to be an automatic launch after there was 100,000 profiles. So they were just like 5,000 to 6,000 profiles away from actually going into launching this potentially life-threatening for Tree of Logic for sure, life-threatening website that could potentially, you know, get her killed. Releasing personal information like her first and last name, a couple of other tidbits about her. Now, as many of you know who followed Tree of Logic for a while, as I have, you'll know that she used to be in law enforcement. She used to apprehend some pretty crazy fugitives back in her day. And as she pointed out in the video, in her video yesterday, there's a good amount of people who would love to take revenge out on those that have apprehended them and caused them to go to jail. Well, not cause them, because they caused themselves to go to jail, but you know what I mean. So this was a big deal to her. A lot of people were like, "Oh no, you're just jealous because Candace is pretty." Look, I'm with Tree here. Candace ain't all that. And then when she opens her mouth, it's even worse.
And you do acknowledge that by collecting this information, it is possible that that information could have got hacked into, et cetera, even if that was not your intention.
Absolutely. I knew that
it's not even possible. It was. It was. People were doxxed as a result of the information
a year ago. How come I haven't been sued?
A year ago. The whole thing was a year ago.
How come I haven't been sued?
You're here talking about the whole situation a year ago.
I know. Well, how come I haven't been sued if these people's lives were completely ruined, if it happened a year ago?
Candace, I don't know. Ask people who didn't choose to sue you. I don't fucking know.
Okay.
All right, but
when I arrive in Texas, I will do two things. One, reveal my real name. And two, file a lawsuit against Candace Owens for slander. You see, I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, or take any drugs of any kind. Hell, I'm not even on any medication. She called me a crackhead. And when Blaire said that this was a foul rumor to spread, Candace Owens said, "Oh, it's not a rumor," implying that this was a fact. So the following morning, I got in my car, drove to a local health clinic to take an extensive drug test. On my way to go take a drug test, I'm going to be tested for marijuana, cocaine, and crack. 3 days later, I posted my test results on my Twitter profile showing that I tested negative for everything, including medication.
How come I haven't been sued if these people's lives were completely ruined, if it happened a year ago?
Candace, I don't know. Ask people who didn't choose to sue you. I don't fucking know.
Okay.
all right, but
You know, there's a good amount of beauty that comes from being humble. There's a good amount of beauty that comes from being honest, and there's a good amount of attractiveness that comes from just being a good person. And it doesn't seem like Candace is. Again, I still follow her. I just kind of pay attention to what she says. So I think for me lately, the people I've been listening to and following lately have been more up and coming, middle of the line, not highly impactful content creators. Paul Joseph Watson, he's gotten to that point where it's almost like it's a shtick, I guess. Mark Dice, I think Mark Dice is probably one of the more legitimate ones, and I will always like his videos. I don't think there's ever anything that I've disagreed with Mark Dice. He's a pretty genuine guy. Paul Joseph Watson, though, I mean, he can write a report about Candace Owens and then publicly lie. I mean, this guy's supposed to be credible. He'll publicly lie about how many years ago it was that Candace Owens has worked to develop this website to get it going and crowdfunded, whatever. And he claims 4 years. I think we all know who have been following this. It's more like 2. It's in 2016. So I don't know how he got his numbers mixed up, but I'm pretty sure a lot of it has to do with Gaga over her and personal favoritism and influence. He's using the same this is what bothers me. Is he's starting to use the same tactics that the MSM uses to kind of just bend the truth a little bit, to make you think a certain way, so that way something could be unnoticed and you can go on with your merry day and there's no victimization. So yeah, to that I don't give you a lot of credit, PJW. I think that's I'm glad she called you out on that, and even, you know, it is what it is at that point. The other funny parts about this video and this uncovering, this unraveling, were all the things that, even when I'm publishing my content on Twitter or YouTube and have my criticisms about Candace, is that Tree of Logic also understands what she does to get her way, what she does to play the victim, what she does to make people like her. She does play the victim. She does play the race card. You know, even the head of the organization that she's part of now, US, whatever it is, I forget the guy's name. I keep wanting to say Michael Vick. It's not Michael Vick, obviously. But anyways, the head of the organization that she's part of has even quoted in a video with Jordan Peterson that, oh yeah, she uses the race card, and she uses it brilliantly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so okay. Candace is a superstar. In fact, she just got a nice shout out from Kanye West saying, I love the way Candace Owens thinks. What's interesting about Candace Owens is she uses identity politics against the left.
I'm like, well, here she is saying that she doesn't use the race card.
If believing in myself, if accepting the responsibility for my failures somehow disqualifies me from owning an imaginary card, then let me be the first to declare that I don't want one. I also don't want Cornel West, Al Sharpton, or insert anyone else who uses their skin color to game the system as a role model. If there is one thing that my family history has taught me, it's that I do not need a black card or an imaginary anything to make something of myself.
I wonder if you know that I know he's lying right now.
His story is unique. His story is beautiful. Because it's American. And that's the only card I've ever been interested in playing.
I just want to know one thing. You ready? Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
So Tree of Logic was trying to get Candace to always go head-to-head, one-on-one with her. She's never acknowledged any of the opportunities to go one-on-one with her. She would rather go get easy pickings, so that way she could look more the victor. Again, Candace always plays the victim. You know, she, even with the BuzzFeed journalist Joe something, I forget his name, but I'll post a picture here. She basically, this was like around March or April of this year. Just one example. She was going around saying, oh yeah, you know, slander, being slanderous against me, you're not going to get away with this, and to berate 3 women and to blackmail them into doing an interview about me. Basically 3 women that used to work with Candace when she was at 180 Degree, I forget the website name, where Candace used to write blogs that were, you know, about Trump's penis size, about a couple of other, you know, really interesting subjects that you would think, okay, this came from this girl that I follow, all this shit came from her. So anyways, 3 women that used to work with Candace were interviewed by this Joe guy at BuzzFeed, and whatever, and here's the thing I'm noticing with Candace. Whatever Candace does not like is slander or libel or defamatory. And it's not journalism. It's not, I mean, granted, BuzzFeed is by far not something I would consider journalism. I would never defend them on anything, but this is, again, I say that loosely. I would never defend them on anything that they would do callously or with bias. You know, call people out, call outlets out on their shit. But here, they're right. You know, Candace was going a little overboard, and then I believe it was Daily Wire who tried asking the question, you know, or maybe it was just them that addressed it, that the question was asked. Candace, if you know these 3 women who have contacted you supposedly and said that they were being threatened to do this report by this Joe guy at BuzzFeed, provide the evidence. No, she didn't provide anything. I mean, again, why? She just keeps playing the victim. She will play the victim. She will not provide supporting evidence. But here's the thing, and this is the thing about all MSM. This is the thing about everybody who's using these tactics nowadays. I think everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people now are in a clear understanding that once a tweet goes viral, initial subject, first time you're going to hear about a subject or whatever, once a tweet goes viral, once news goes viral, the majority of people are not going to come back to get the follow-up, to get the edits, you know, the corrections. People will already assume, okay, so just like Candace, she's like, oh no, BuzzFeed, you know, they did this and this, they did that, and they're threatening these 3 women to do an interview. 95% of Candace's audience, from what I read in the thread there in Twitter when she posted this, believe her. They're not going to question her. False idolship is all I could think of here. I have no idea. Like, why would you not want to just know the truth? Why would you, like, same with me. Why would you back me? Why would you back me personally if I went out there and told a lie? I would, and let's say I lied about my age. Let's say I said I'm 25. And you guys don't want to go and check it. You guys are like, oh no, I believe him. I like Roger. And then somebody comes in and says, no, Roger's wrong. This is his birth date, his birth year. I found it, whatever. They're like, oh no, I still believe Roger. You know, you're just a hater. You're just a hater. That's basically what's going on here with Candace and her followers. So the news, this is what the thing about the MSM is. The news gets out there initially. They're not concerned. They are not concerned about the corrections. They're not concerned about getting it wrong. They're not concerned about people like you and me and Tree of Logic and everybody, all these other outlets that try to say, oh no, you did this wrong. They are not concerned about that. The only thing they're concerned about is that initial publication, the initial information going out there that that influences people from the get-go, because they know they've already done their job. They could put up a correction, edits 2 hours later. Doesn't make a difference, because people like Ron fucking Perlman will believe every fucking thing that they hear, like Sarah fucking Silverman. I don't know. People are already going to be believing all this shit. And they're not going to go back and correct themselves. And they're just going to build and build and build on the insanity that, like the insanity that's going on right now with all the Democrats, and the Democrats not having this a clear idea going into the midterms here of what their political platform is. You know, they're desperate, you know, so they're using this they're using this supposed mothers being separated from their families thing, and, you know, on the border with people trying to get asylum in the southern border. Oh my God, it's just getting ridiculous. And guess what? People are falling for it. People think, oh my God, this is inhumane, this is that. Yet he's following law, and it's so contradictory, because Bush did it with his, you know, with his warmongering. Obama did it all the time, and then Obama bombed Syria, and nobody gives a fuck about separating families there. Everybody's a fucking hypocrite. The only goal here is everybody wants to ruin an agenda. They have their own agenda. They don't like Trump's. They want to see theirs go forward. This is what Candace is doing as well. She knows it. She knows the game. Turning Point USA is who she works for, I think. Yeah, TP USA, Toilet Paper USA. So anyways, she works for that. And then there was another guy, I forget his name, the former police officer, Brandon Tatum, former police officer. You know, everybody watches this video, and he loves Candace Owens, and he's like, you know, I don't have anything to say about her. I don't know what all the haters are saying about her, yada, yada, yada. It's so bad. She's a great person. I met her parents. Well, yeah, you work at Turning Point USA with her, so obviously they're not going to want conflict between you two, so you're not going to say anything bad about her. Again, when people get to that fucking level, that level where there's influence, there's money involved, and there's an image to uphold in that respect. When people get to that level, I start questioning their motives. I start questioning their ideals. I mean, look at now, Daily Wire is one aspect with Ben Shapiro. I follow the guy, I like the guy, but as of recent, like probably the last 6 to 8 months, I haven't really liked a lot of his views. And it's gotten to the point where it's very commercial now. So I don't know if the people that he promotes like every 5 minutes on his video want him to be a certain way or whatever. But you know, there's hints of all of these influences that just get in when you start getting too big. When you start getting to the point where you're mainstream, I don't know. I hope I never get to that point. I hope I stay at a level of just, you know, ambiguity. And who knows? Maybe in the future I do want to get paid for this. I don't know. Right now I'm doing it all for hobby, just to get my point out there, and maybe it'll flourish into something. I don't know. But think about it, people. When people get to that level, there's other influences involved, not just getting the truth out. So be on the lookout for shit like that. Going back to Candace, she knows the game and she's playing it on everybody. Playing the victim as usual, and I think Tree has made an excellent video, and I think you guys should all go watch it. Proves my point as well. I'm not going to be one that's going to be accepting people and dismissing their past actions because they supposedly changed, and now we have to accept them into our party. Well, I'm not a conservative, but you know what I mean. That's just bullshit. That's blind acceptance. So I was very shocked, you know, when people like. And again, Anthony Brian Logan, he had basically said, you know, you all have a past, and I'm like, well, we all do, but we also own up to it. Candace doesn't, and it's going to end up biting. Look at how the impact of Rush Limbaugh impacted the Republican Party back when it was, you know, he went through his old crazy phase, and then that other guy, oh God, I can't remember his name, the one that keeps flip-flopping back and forth. Anyways, there's a couple of faces in the Republican Party that have cost the Republican Party from time to time. Candace is going to be a very big noticeable one because she's black and she's a female. And if you guys blindly wanting to follow her and say, oh, she's good for the movement, yeah, I think Tree of Logic probably exaggerated the claim that no black people like Candace. There are a couple of black people. I mean, there are, pretty sure, a big fan base of black people that like Candace. But I think I know where she was going with that. True people of color will not look at Candace and take her seriously. It's like the fair weather people who are fair weather politicians who just, I don't know. They will follow her, they will listen to her, they will not question her, and that's where it falls into the line of dangerous company. When you don't want to question the people that you like, I question even the ones I've mentioned earlier, and I question myself, then you're in for a world of trouble. You're in for a world of deceit, you're in for a world of a fake observations. So what are you guys' thoughts? Do you follow Candace? Do you follow Tree of Logic? Do you follow both? Do you like either or more? Do you think that Candace is good for the good for the Republican Party? I think she's good for future divide, because now all this stuff is being exposed a lot more frequently. And I stand by Tree of Logic. I have from the get-go. I have not waned on this. So yeah, what are you guys' thoughts? Other than that, I hope you guys all have a great day. This is my first video back, so I know it's kind of like messed up. Hope you guys all have a good one. Peace out.
So you stated on your Patreon, Tree of Logic was paid to lie. Do you have evidence of that?
Right, no. So my
You don't have evidence?
No, I don't have evidence, but I 100% believe in.
Fuck facts. Just listen and believe.